Hey guys!
Hey everyone.
It's Peter and Sarah. We have a fun video for you today. It's a bonus episode because we had to make it today. October 9th is a very special day for us because that is the day
we got engaged.
I feel like there are a lot of people around here that maybe don't know the story yet, so we wanted to take you back in time and tell you what it was like. So we're back in 2017. It was a wild year. It was a great year. To give you a timeline, we were definitely talking about getting engaged, getting married. I mean, we had been talking about it for a while, but definitely seriously like that spring and like leading into the summer, we hadn't like ironed out any details, I guess, like what kind of ring we were looking for or anything like that. So
let me tell them what the plan was. We are working on a surprise joyride in a hot air balloon. I mean, I didn't overthink it, but I was just like, what would be the word picture? What would be the snapshot? I kind of think in highlight reels. It's like, what would really sum up not just that moment, but kind of us, our story, and what we want to be. And so I kind of did a little throwback to all the places you'll go and get a hot air balloon ride, and just that life of adventure, whimsical, and then, you know, we're not really steering this thing. It's just being carried by the wind far and fast. And that's just been a really sweet image for me, and that's what I wanted to kind of project into our future. And
that's so cute. I think that was like one of the first gifts.
It was very first, yeah.
The first gift I gave you was the places you would go book.
Yeah,
that's cute. I had no idea about hot air balloon. I don't think I even ever mentioned it before that I wanted to do it. I think my grandma had ridden a hot air balloon, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I know somebody who did that. But I think that's it. I know we watched Up, and I had never seen it before, and we watched it for the first time probably like a month before.
Yeah, I was sweating bullets. I was like, man,
she's gonna figure it out.
I have to like block out any kind of, you know, emotional signals or some sort of
You would pick me up for church.
Think of this.
You would pick me up for church on Sundays, and I feel like, didn't we see a hot air balloon one of the days?
No, definitely.
And I was like, hot air balloon!
I was like, ooh.
My grandma ran her.
Yeah, don't. And after that ring phone call, I had a really good experience. So I was like, man, I'm great at cold calls now. I can boom, 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 I'm gonna make it happen. Look at me, da, da, da.
Now, the reason, he probably, actually, I don't know when you first called, but I think you had to wait longer because of the hurricane, because everything was like wet, like the ground.
No, we
was
had
wet.
it booked before the hurricane. Hurricane happened, and we actually pushed it back like weeks.
I was gonna get engaged in August?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I was super bummed. And
wow.
Anyways, I was looking forward to it. Hurricane Harvey happened, and it just literally wiped out the whole timeline. And then even after the fact, the ground had to dry. There's so many factors involved.
They're like, basically, don't plan it. If it happens to you, if you just so happen to be next to a hot air balloon basket when the weather's perfect,
it was like,
jump
okay,
in.
We're gonna schedule it. You have to pay and sign like your whole life off in this release form thing, but at any time we can cancel this thing. And I was like, hey, it's only got to work once. And then she says yes.
So it was at least like 3 weeks before October 9th. We're hanging out, and he's like, so what are you doing on Columbus Day?
What are you doing
I'm like,
on
excuse
Columbus
me?
Day?
Who does anything for Columbus Day? I said, what are we doing on Columbus Day? And you're like, we're gonna go on a joyride. And I was like, direct quote, I said, that sounds engaging.
Yeah. At that point, I just ran out the room. Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, man, like, we're gonna go on a road trip, or we're gonna go on a city date somewhere. I was hoping it was New York, I was like, we'll probably go to New York and then maybe like get engaged on top of the rock. I don't know. The next thing that I'll say is I was texting my friend Renee about it, and she was just, it just really threw me off because she was really playing dumb about the whole thing. She was like texting back in caps like, no way, oh my gosh, you really think so? And so I was like, wait, she doesn't know? Like, I don't know. I just felt like, okay, no, she should know. Does she not know?
Meanwhile, back on the ranch, I'm texting everybody. Like, everyone is involved. I've delegated so many friends and family to pull this off. I have like scheduled itineraries.
Well, I guess it's the night before, and I was like, man, we're going on some kind of joyride, you know, the next day. And I was thinking, you know, it'll probably be around noon. I don't know. And then I was like, hey, so what time are we going tomorrow? And he's like, be ready at like, what, 6 or something?
Yeah, 6:15
6:30, 6:15. And I was like, excuse me, I'm sorry, what? I was texting Renee the night before, wondering what to wear, not knowing that she was already in town, and running ideas by her, like, should I wear this? I had actually, I don't know if you know this, I had gone shopping in the spring and I saw this cute shirt and I was like, ooh, I want to get engaged in this. So I bought it, but it's like a spaghetti strap because I thought we were going to get engaged this summer. So it was October, but I was like, I'll make it work.
No, it was amazing.
So I wore it.
Still my favorite, yeah.
Yeah. So I got up super early. You picked me up bright and early, got in the car, and things took a turn that I was not expecting.
I handed you a sleep mask, like the kind you wear on an airplane, and put some headphones in, and then I started playing
Mute Math,
which Joyride.
We had seen.
I think the song was called Joyride.
Yeah, we had seen them in concert like 2 days before.
So the mystery ride begins. We switched you, put you in another vehicle.
I felt people,
joined in with the...
Yeah, I felt people watching me. I was like, I think we're at HEB and I'm walking outside. I was just like,
she's like super perceptive. I mean, she's counting seconds in her head and tracking and
where
knowing how many left turns and right
turning.
turns and all that stuff.
I placed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get in the car. I'm still blindfolded. I like felt people watching me when we were blindfolded. I was like walking to another car, so I was just like mean mugging it, like stoic. You know, some people say like, oh, I don't like being surprised. No, I like being surprised, but when I know I'm in the middle of being surprised, that's kind of like, I don't know. What are you trying to do? I don't want to ruin it on accident, but I want to figure it out. But
yeah,
you're trying to like plan it out, but then you're also trying to like let it be a surprise, but you know you're in the middle of a surprise, so it's like, what's happening? Whatever new vehicle we're in the back seat, so we're sitting next to each other. So I was liking that. We were just holding hands, and I was just listening to my earbuds, listening to my songs, and someone was driving us around, and then they were on like I could hear
radio or something.
They were on like a walkie-talkie. Like a lot, and I would hear like, come in, you know. So I was like, oh, wait, like, is this a helicopter? You know, like I was kind of like,
ugh.
huh. So then finally we parked somewhere, and every once in a while they open and close the doors, like because they were getting something out of the car, and I would just hear like this big noise that I had no idea what that could be. And I was like, maybe this is something to do with
it was actually the
helicopter. I don't know,
hot air balloon, like
inflating
furnace there or whatever. They're blowing it up.
Yeah, which I had no idea where we were at that point, and
really,
no idea what the sounds were.
Finally, after all that waiting, how symbolic, I guess. It was like the door just quickly opened, then we were
this lady opens the door.
Out.
This lady opens the door. I hear through my headphones because I was listening to loud music. She opens the door. She's like, "Come now!" Literally, it's like we're waiting, and then she's like yelling, like,
"You have to go now!
Get up!" So Peter's like, "Okay, I guess like take." So, I'm like getting tangled in my headphones.
Yep.
Yeah. So we run outside and I like look up and I'm just like so disoriented where we were. We got out of the car and I'm like, where are we? It's like in the middle of a strip center. And then I turn around and there's this giant hot air balloon. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I had no idea. But they were like, at the point, like the balloon was so inflated that it was starting to take off.
They needed more weight
with the dude inside of it.
Before we were gonna go.
So the lady was panicking, like, one of you has to jump in the bucket right now. Like, so
I jumped in first.
He jumped in.
And you kind of did the
and
quick.
Then she was like, sign your life away on this waiver right now. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Like, I literally scribbled my name so fast and like jumped over the bucket and we just started floating away.
And I kind of love the poetry and all of that because that really is what an engagement kind of is. I mean, you really are just jumping in, you're like, committing, right, and you're excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Riding in a hot air balloon is like super cool. It was not scary at all. Like if you imagine hanging onto a bunch of balloons and like slowly floating up, it was like that. It was just like you gradually are just like higher and higher and higher, and it's so quiet because there's not anything else. The only time that there's noise is when they like shoot the flame more to like get you higher. We were just like floating. It's like a cool October morning.
Yeah. Very crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Sunrise.
So we're, like, slowly floating up. It's like sunrise. Yeah, it's so pretty outside. And then Peter's like, look down, they're our friends. I'm like, there was like so many external stimulations at that point. Like I could not see who I was looking at. Like I was looking at Renee and Abby and Chris and stuff. I didn't see any of them. Like I feel like I saw Justin and Ryan. I couldn't even see them. Like I just see people and it's not registering to me like who their faces are. And I was just like, hey guys, like how's it going?
The whole time I'm thinking to myself, do not drop the ring. Do not drop this ring. Like I was just thinking it would burn a hole right through my pocket, through the basket, and then fall down somewhere.
That'd be awful.
And so that was kind of my first thought.
And they had a drone like flying like right next to our balloon for the longest time, filming it, which turned out to be so cool. But anyway, I had no idea like who was there.
So it wasn't jerky. It was just very
floated
subtle,
up.
Smooth.
We went for such a long time. Fun. I thought it was going to be like a super short ride, and no, we kept going. Yep.
It was amazing.
So then it comes time to
we're somewhere in flight.
This is great.
And there was a little bit of miscommunication because our pilot thought that I was proposing
bless his heart
in the middle of this ride, and I was not. I was
the basket.
I wanted to propose at the beginning and then say like, hey, will you join me on this ride of life? And you know, everything's got to have some sort of meaning or layered, and it didn't happen. It was just we were thrust upon, so I was just kind of reframing, recalibrating, saying self-talk, this is going to be better, it's all good, like keep going. And so we get up there in flight, and so our pilot, he thinks I'm supposed to propose there. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna hold a ring out like up in the air.
And there's no room to kneel inside the basket.
Yeah, you can't kneel, and nobody's gonna be there.
It's so tiny.
No one's gonna film it.
It's so tiny.
There's no way.
Why would we bring a drone and then not have it for?
So for whatever reason, he starts like, and doing like all these
he's trying to
really
gesture
awkward motions.
He thinks that we were in a really like chill spot, so we were just kind of like floating. It was like super quiet. We were going over all these trees and stuff, and I'm picking up what he's doing because he's like kicking Peter, and he's like like kicking him.
Come on, do it now. He's
and then he goes
kind of pepping me up.
Yeah,
he thinks I'm losing my courage.
Yeah, and he's like, this would be a good time for everything.
I finally just had to make eye contact with him and be like, but it was super meaningful, special. It was perfect, and I really do believe that it really did come out better than I imagined. And having all of that personality is what makes it fun to talk about now.
Now we're looking for a place to land, or the pilot is, I should say. All the places that he's looking at are like gated in. Like it's a bunch of property, and it's like it belongs to like the city's water municipality or something. So like he's like, oh, I can't land in this field. So he keeps like looking, and so he keeps going further, I think, to find a better place to land.
Which kind of made our trip longer,
which made it
nicer.
Longer, which is fun. But he keeps going like further, and then finally he's like, I gotta land this thing. Like I'm running out of fuel, I guess, to keep going. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna try to land it. Like there was a big pond. He's like, I'm gonna try to land on this bank.
Yeah.
Well, so we start going down, and then he had like rehearsed this with us. He was like, when we crash, like the balloon keeps going, like the basket lands first and the balloon keeps going, so you will tumble out. But he was like, so you have to like bend your knees, brace yourself, because you're gonna like hit and then fall. So you don't want to like jar your knees or anything. So he's like, bend your knees, whatever. So we start like going down, and then we start coming down like faster. And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're not gonna
make it.
We're not gonna clear the pond. And he's like, bend your knees. So we're like holding on to each other. Crash landed inside of a pond.
True story.
And then like
we crash landed in a pond.
In the middle of a neighborhood. Yep. We crash landed in a pond. The balloon keeps going, kind of like drags us out, spills us onto the shore. But we are like, our legs are wet, like all the way up.
She's got like her
here,
like super nice outfit on. She's wearing high heels.
I was wearing like these cute like boot heel kind of things with open toes. Anyway, the heel on them broke because of the crash. Our friends had been following the balloon in the car, so they were like driving,
chasing us,
like trying to chase the balloon. So we finally went down. I remember we landed. It was funny. We were like laughing, taking a few pictures and stuff, and but nobody else was there yet. And I pulled out my phone and I text Renee, and I was like, it's happening. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm not there. And I'm like, wait, what? Like you're not here? I don't know. It's just, but they were there. They were like right around the corner. So then a couple minutes later,
they all rush in.
A couple minutes later, they all start running in, and like all of our friends are there.
So at that time, I saw them coming. I was like, this is it. Let's do it now. I've been waiting long enough. I am down. So I don't even think I stayed on my knee that long.
No.
I just walked you right down to the edge of the water.
No, we were so ready.
And I was so ready, and I was like, let's do this. And you said
I'll
yes.
tell you, when we were walking down, we were holding hands. We were walking down like the little bank down to the spot where he was gonna get on one knee, but he was like, all right, let's do this, whatever. We're kind of like talking on the way, so you barely had to like get down on your knee. But the thing that he always said to me when we were dating, he would say, Sarah, you're perfect to me, you're perfect for me, and every day is getting better. So he said that, and then he said, will you be married me?
Yeah.
And showed me the ring and was like, yes. Awesome. I have this to commemorate.
That's it.
That was the moment.
That's where it happened.
Yeah.
So we left there and we went to our favorite date spot restaurant.
Yeah, for brunch.
And now more family was added into that. And so her family, my family, kind of all pulled together.
And all our friends, we just did brunch.
And it was just so cool
hung
to
out,
have people to celebrate with.
Watch the drone footage.
Yeah, we got to replay all the footage right there.
Ate a great breakfast, took pictures. It was so fun. Then we went back to my apartment and just hung out there. And then we were like, okay, we got to make our Facebook post, you know?
Yeah.
So then we were looking through pictures, and
it was just it
was great.
Incredible day. And then 4 months later,
we got married. To the day. So it was October 9th, and then we were thinking, okay, like, let's not...
Well, I knew 4 months. I was like...
No, I knew 4 months.
I knew 4 months.
Yeah. We were like, we're not going to wait around, first of all. And then I said, the Bible says 4 months between planting and harvest. So I was looking at dates. I had been emailing the venue that we wanted. I have been emailing them like proactively throughout the summer, like, hey, what do y'all have open? What do y'all have open? So then I was like, 4 months. Okay, it's October. And then I was like, okay, February. So I emailed them real quick. I was like, hey, what dates do you have open in February? And then I saw that February 9th was open. I was like, it's 4 months to the day. How perfect is that? So we booked it like 1 week exactly, I think, after we got engaged. Booked the venue, and we were off to the races.
So 3 years now. Any engagement tips?
Well, first of all, I'm so grateful that Peter put so much thought and effort and energy into it, and he still like is downplaying it like, oh, I just booked the date and then, you know, went all in. But really, he like prayed so much for the weather and everything to come together. Like, the dude was calling him the night before, the morning of, and was like, hey, I don't think today's gonna work out. And he was like, no, it's gonna work out. So if you're a guy, be like that. Not only be decisive, but have a plan and make it really special, because that was just so, it was so awesome. I don't know anybody else who's gotten engaged in a hot air balloon, so it made me feel really special.
What an awesome story.
It was great.
I love you.
I love reliving it and talking about how awesome it was, because it really was. It was amazing, better than I could have imagined.
I could not have pulled it off without Jesus, without a great community of family and friends, and without you as my inspiration to charge on. So that was great. Guys, we would love to hear your stories or answer any of your questions.
Yeah.
And
I feel like we have more vlogs in the future about, I don't know, wedding or relationship stuff, because that's pretty fun.
It's
also,
a big deal.
You have to look at my ring. It's amazing.
All right.
Okay. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this bonus episode. Remember to subscribe to our channels. We post videos every week on both his channel and my channel, and we'd love to see you soon.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.